Okay.
So,
and shall we begin?
let us do this thing.
So let's return to the past for a moment. So in 2016, we did Unbirthing and Freeing of Demons from this reality. And the one thing about it is what you got to realize is demons were brought here. They didn't come here by themselves. They were brought here in order to find a way to disconnect you from your body. So anytime you try to find the power that a demon will bring you and have the power that a demon can provide, what you're doing in that is you're actually destroying your body. So demons, their purpose is to destroy your body. So all of you who have oaths, vows, feelings, contracts, fealties, commitments with demons, it require them to re-up their contracts with you on the first of every year. Well, you now revoke, recant, rescind, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy, not create all that.
Right, wrong, good and bad, button, box, nine shorts, boys, and beyond. Here he has demons in his tummy that are trying to make him stop, but it's not going to work, bitches.
Apparently, a fair few of you still have contracts with demons. So all the contracts, oaths, vows, swearings, fealties, communities you have, will you now revoke, recant, rescind, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy, and uncreate them all?
Right, wrong, good and bad, button, box, all nine shorts, boys, and beyond.
And what have you made so vital, valuable, and real about the eternal, sacred, and non-negotiable rights and orders of demons that keeps you from being the gift of chaos that would free them to return to their time and their reality without any consequences at all? Everything that is times of God's doing, we destroy and uncreate it all.
Right, wrong, good and bad, button, box, all nine shorts, boys, and beyond.
And what commitments to demons what jails are you using to create the dominance of D equals MC squared as demons always having control over your body are you choosing? Everything that is times of God's zillion, we destroy and create it all.
Right, wrong, good and bad, button, box, all nine shorts, boys, and beyond.
And now, would you please ask all demons in your body or anybody you know to return to from whence they came, never to come to this reality or us again?
Right, wrong, good and bad, button, box, all nine shorts, boys, and beyond.
Okay, so demand now that they return to their reality and return.
Go back to from whence you came, never to return to us to this reality ever again.
Yeah. Now, if all of you have,
words.
yes, and it's like if you have done, translated versions of that, it doesn't work. Their language is English. So you have to say the English version for them to do it. All the translators have been telling me how it always works when they do it. I'm telling them they're wrong. So don't listen to them. They're idiots and they're cute as hell. And I like them, but never mind. Okay? All right. So that takes care of 2016. Now let's move on to 2017. And it's like, so all the oaths, vows, swearings, fealties, commitments, and commitments you have to any demons who would help you have power, help you gain what you thought you didn't have, or be a contribution to you in a way that you ever thought was necessary, that ain't, will you now revoke, recant, rescind, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy, and uncreate all that?
Right, wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys, and beyond.
And we're going to ask all the demons to go back from whence they came. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, now, let's release all the demons on planet Earth, from planet Earth, so they can go back to from whence they came, never to return to this reality again. Everything that is, right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine, shorts, boys, and beyond. Now, at 4:30 this morning, Dane and I started talking about the Techies. Now, the difference between a demon and a Techie. The demons are actually designed, the way they function is they try to take over your body to destroy it. The way Techies try to do it is they try to take over the planet so they can destroy it. They're interested in destroying our planet. If you have a commitment to that, you might want to look at it, okay? So, 5911, tend to destroy what allow the techies to have control here. But did you write those things down that we've got this morning? I hope, because I don't remember. So one of the things we realized is that the whole thing about techies is their whole purpose in life is to invalidate you and make you feel like you're wrong. They are the ultimate in gaslighters, okay? They know how to make you wrong and how to make you feel wrong no matter what occurs.
Those two are the
Okay, so you read them off.
Okay. So what question can you be or ask that would break and melt the lies of limitation that give power over you to others?
Especially techies.
Everything that is times a gazillion way destroyed and created, please.
Right, wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts. Oh, let's do that one again.
So what question can you be or ask that would break and melt the lies of limitation that give power over you to others? Everything that is times, especially techies. Everything that is times a gazillion way destroyed and created, please.
It's right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyond. I met this man from Cleveland, and he had this very fixed point of view about how you have to pay attention to your health, because only if you pay attention to your health will you live long enough. And, it's like, and your health is all that matters, and doctors can tell you everything. And I said, okay, so it's like I have a different point of view than that. He goes, what do you mean? I said, well, my point of view is your point of view creates your reality, not reality creates your point of view. He goes, that can't be true. I said, okay. So how do you explain spontaneous remission? And how do you explain, what's that stuff they give you that's not?
Placebo
effect. How do you explain those two things if it's true that the doctors have to tell you everything? That your point of view creates your reality, not reality creates your point of view. And he just he got up and stomped out of the room. He was angry as hell with me. And every time I saw him the rest of the night, every time I saw him, he'd go to sleep. Because I was melting his fixed point of view with the questions I was asking. And that's the value of question, is you have to see this, and you have to recognize that this is the way it works.
And you also have to be this.
Yeah.
The thing about question is it melts. And the other thing is to recognize that all of life comes to me with ease and joy and glory also does that melting.
Yeah.
Does that melting of the solidity that the techies feed off of. So every time you hear or see anything, anything Trump does or says, or anything any of these people do politically, or anything else that gives you that twist in your gut, when you get that twist in your guts, you're basically feeding techie reality. And so you want to do 5 9/11s, and then you say, all of life comes to me with ease and joy and glory. All of life comes to me with ease and joy and glory. All of life comes to me with ease and joy and glory. All of life comes to me with ease and joy and glory.
But it's like the thing about the techies is they have the point of view that they are right, and they therefore always try to make you see how you're wrong. And they come from that. Okay, now we also have 13. 13s are about something.
13s are about changing track.
Changing track is how you change track. So you want to do 13s when you're around people who are trying to get the rightness of their point of view. But be a question and ask, will a 13 work? Will a 5 9/11? Or will all of life comes to me with ease and joy and glory work?
Or all of the above.
Or all of the above. Which ones do we have to do?
And
I'm going to tell you about one new thing that we've come up with.
Just one.
Yeah, but just one.
Yeah.
So that's about number 14. 14 is where you activate the particulates of death in somebody's body. So I'd like you to do a 14 with me for all the techies that are in charge of government and banks and insurance companies and law enforcement across the planet, so that we can allow, and the IRS and the IRD and all the taxation departments, so that what can occur is they can have the death, they can have the particulates of death begin to form in their body. That doesn't mean you're going to have them drop dead tomorrow, unfortunately, but it may help them die sooner. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14, 14, 14, 14, 14, 14, 14, 14, 14, 14, 14, 14, 14, 14, 14, 14. Okay, now, please be aware, any of you feel lighter at that or more, like there's more space for you?
Yeah.
More space, because that's the way it should create, is this thing where their death doesn't become something you wish for, but their death is something they can choose now, because they choose the death of the planet even over their own death. And they would die before they give up destroying the planet. Different point of view, right? Fun, hey?
And I'm okay with that.
Okay, I'm okay with that too. So every time you take a fixed point of view, you actually support a techie. So how many fixed point of view?
Like a techie support program.
Yeah.
Support a techie, take a fixed point of view. Adopt a techie, take a lot of fixed points of view. Feed a techie monthly. Take as many points of view as you can this month, and you'll feed all these starving techies around the world. And if you do enough, we'll send you a picture of the techies you're supporting. Starving little techies need you to take fixed points of view. Please act now.
It's only going to cost you $20,000 a month to do this, so no problem.
Dial 1-800-BITE-ME.
That was good. I like it. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
So every fixed point. So how many fixed points of view are you using to create the techie support system you are choosing? Everything that is times a God, so anyway, you destroy and create it all.
Right, wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine, shorts, boys, and beyond.
Nice, huh? Oh. That's what
Wow.
the napkins are for.
Yes. So how many fixed points of view are you using to create the techie support system you are choosing? Everything that is times a gazillion, we destroy and create it, please.
Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine, shorts, boys, and beyond. If you take the point of view, I hate this person, and I would like them to die, is that a fixed point of view? Yes, it is.
Yeah.
So it's like, but that's the point of view that actually ends up supporting them. You don't realize they're trying to get you to institute. Your resistance to them, your willingness to see that somehow things need to be different, but not in ways you know it's possible. Those are the things that put them in charge.
By the way, all the
control over you.
All the noise is coming from us. Okay.
That's why you have to move champagne around and the
you
ice.
have to
Come
cover
on,
it
get
in
real.
ice. I know, exactly. And one of the other things you want to realize, one of the other processes we have here is what power of melting limitations do we all have that we're not instituting?
Yeah.
Everything that is times a gazillion, we destroy and create it, please.
Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine, shorts, boys. Yeah. Now you can melt those limitations and stuff by being or asking a question.
And all of life comes to me with ease and joy and glory. One of the things Gary and I got to in our conversation was that what we've tried to do is we've tried to have power over techies and power over limitations. And when you do that, you're essentially fighting against it. When you truly are,
means you're giving it negative power.
And when you truly are the power and potency of you, what you do is you be the question that melts the limitation.
Yeah.
It's a totally different way of going about it. But if you've ever tried to fight against what a techie was doing in your life, let's say you have an ex who's an abusive asshole. Let's say you have a family member that's an abusive asshole and is trying to take everything. These are techies usually doing this a lot of times because they're trying to create the destruction and they're trying to involve you in that destruction so you won't and can't create any longer. And that's their target, is to destroy everything that has lightness to it. And so when you go and you try to fight it, 99 times out of 100, you feel powerless against it, and it runs in your mind and runs in your body and runs in your life. Whereas if you go, okay, what question can I be that will melt this?
Yeah, and that's what you have to start asking, okay?
And that's where we need to be, and this is called being something completely different. This is being something beyond this reality. And what you want to have is a non-reality reality. Yeah. Meaning that you don't have a fixed point of view about how this has to look. You don't have a fixed point of view about how it's going to occur. You be the question. You be the ease, joy, and glory that is going to melt it into a possibility from an impossibility. and from a stuck space.
Yeah, it's like I have a friend whose ex is trying to destroy his kid because his point of view is the kid is too ordinary. Now, this kid is 6 years old and he can play chess. How
And
ordinary
win.
is it? And win.
He doesn't
Against
just play
me.
chess. He wins.
Yes. And it's like, I mean, this is one smart little guy. And I would really like to see him have the freedom to choose something different. But because his mother keeps thinking this guy is going to take her to court and he might win, which is what he tries to induce in her universe, is the fear that he might actually win. And it's like you have to have the willingness to lose everything in order to have everything.
Which is what techies do continuously. They instill in your universe that if you go against them, you will lose.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? It's 4 trillion years after the fact now. We've learned a few fucking things.
Yes.
And we have access tools.
And we have access to them.
And we have access tools.
And we have access to
And also we have access tools. And so you have to be the question because the one thing they cannot stop is a question.
Yes.
The one thing they cannot, that they will always have to defend against, because the other thing that you do when you're dealing with techies in your world is you try to give them all the information and explain it as though logic is going to make them change.
Okay, by the way, that doesn't work.
At all.
At all.
What you need to do is put them on the defensive by asking them questions.
Yes.
So some of the questions we were just running over to give you guys today is, what gives you the right to do this? And on what basis are you claiming this?
Yeah.
And then, because what they do is they create shit out of thin air, and then they know that you have been going into defense continuously, so you'll go into your defense mode, which gives them the power.
Yeah.
And even when there's a situation, they will turn the situation and go, we're going to do it this way. Even when it turns out exactly the same way, they twist it and say, oh, I'll do this here and I'll do this here. And it turns out the exact same way, but from their point of view, it gives them power over you.
It gives control. That's what they want, control and power over.
And like Gary was saying, it's like what Trump does.
Yeah.
It's like, it's a continuous putting everybody on the defensive and making
he
everybody.
lies about everything.
Yep. And that's the other thing is they lie about everything.
Well, it's not they lie about everything. They lie about anything. They will lie about anything. And they will twist the truth in any way they can and try and get others to back them.
Yep. Called gaslighting.
Yes. But it's like they'll use the gaslighting against anybody, not just against you. And you got to get that you have the power because of the question, because of the mantra, because of the willingness to be the question and ask the question. You will take away their power. And in so doing, create 14s having sway over their body.
So everything you've done to give techies power over you, to pretend that they had power over you that you know they don't have, which is also what sticks you, because you know you have more power, but you can't seem to use it because you're trying to use it by fighting against them and fighting against what they're trying to do rather than melting it. Will you destroy and uncreate it, please? Right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all 9, short, boys, guns. And on all that techie shit that was installed, all the implants, explants, all the vibrational virtual realities, we do some 5-9-11. 5-9-11, 5-9-11, 5-9-11, 5-9-11, 5-9-11, 5-9-11, 5-9-11, 5-9-11,
5-9-11, and 12.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11,
12.
And 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13,
13,
13, 13, 13,
13, 14, 14, 14, 14, 14, 14. Okay, now, one last thing I want you to do. Okay? It's like, so ask, demand now that all techies go back to from whence they came, never to return to this reality again. Everything that is, and everything that allows you to allow it to exist, right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all 9, shorts, boys, and beyonds. Okay.
There you go.
And this begins to return the techies to their time, their space, their place. Because they've been trying to control this planet so that it can be used up and destroyed.
And they don't belong here.
No. And if they die, they will not be able to come back if you do this often enough. So please don't hesitate. Every time you meet a techie, go back to from whence you came, never to return to this reality again.
Ever again.
Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine, shorts, boys, and beyond. There you go. Okay, I don't have anything else to say. Do you?
No, the only thing I want to say one more time, the statement is, for demons, go back to from whence you came, never to return to me or this reality ever again.
Because
and
that's about your body and you and your body.
And for techies, it's go back to from whence you came, whence, W-H-E-N-C-E. Go back to from whence you came, never to return to this reality ever again.
Yeah. So when they die, they won't be able to come and get another body. Okay? This is the curse you are placing on them when you do this. So be willing to curse these beings with a different possibility. And be willing to be the source of a greater possibility, not the source of the fight against. You know, because if you fight against them, or you try to undo them, or you try to be logical, all you're doing is giving them the power.
Yep.
Because they will always change the logic, so it doesn't make sense to you, and yet you feel that somehow you're wrong. Doesn't
and you
actually
also
allow
feel
it.
like somehow you should be able to make it make sense.
Yeah.
That's
and
trying
that
to
you
fight
should be
again.
able to explain to them.
Yeah, and you should be able to explain to them, and if you explain to them, then they'll get it.
They never do.
No. And I've had situations with techies recently who were vehemently abusive assholes who I was like, oh, well, let me explain this. And I would explain it, and they started yelling. And I was like, whoa, I guess explanation doesn't work. Because it would work for me. Don't work for them. Okay, so, and Shannon, what was I running before we dropped off? There's a question
right
if I could
before,
run that.
yeah, it's like you run the thing, he was doing the thing about power outside of you.
So what question can you be asked that would break and melt the lies of limitation to give power over...
That gives power over others.
No, that gives...
others power over you.
That gives others power over you,
yeah.
especially techies.
Yeah.
Everything that is times a godzillion, we destroying
right, wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine, shorts, boys.
One more time, what questions can you be asked that would break and melt the lies of limitation that give others power over you, especially techies? Everything that is times a godzillion, we destroy and create it, please.
Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine, shorts, boys, and beyond.
And what power of melting limitations do we all have that we're not instituting? Everything that is times a godzillion, we destroy and create it.
Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine, shorts, boys, and beyond. Now, folks, if you can, please listen to this every day for at least a month.
Yes.
Every day for at least a month, because you need to have the awareness. And it's like when you see Trump doing his thing, or you see, Erdogan, or you see, Kim Jong-un, or any of these people doing their thing that is about really not creating the planet, but destroying it. Recognize you have given them the power by your resistance to being the power. You have to be willing to be the power to melt limitations. So what power to melt limitations are you refusing that you truly could be choosing? That if you would choose it, would change this entire reality. Everything that is times a godzillion, we just try and create it all.
Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine, shorts, boys, and beyond. Why does Ann never get what I say? That's weird. I don't think she likes me.
What power to melt limitations are you refusing that you truly could be choosing? That if you would choose them, would change this whole reality.
Everything that is times a godzillion, we destroy and create it, please.
Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine, shorts, boys, and beyond.
And the thing that you missed is everything that gives the techies power over you.
Yes.
And everything you've done to pretend that they have power over you when they don't.
Yes.
Will you destroy and create all that, please?
Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine, shorts, boys, and beyond. Every time you think that someone has the power to do damage to you, you are actually aligning and agreeing with their point of view. You know, it's like I know a lady whose ex thinks that he has power over her. So he always says insane things that sound like he's going to do something to her or can do something to her. And she always goes, well, he might take me to court and hurt me. I said, First of all, you got to get, your kid may not be perfect. Your kid may not be, old enough to know everything that's going on, but they know enough to know that they're not going to experience that and they're not going to live like that. All you got to do is show them the happiness that is you to get them to choose that, and they won't choose to be the effect of those that are not that powerful, but pretend to be. It's like, and if you have not watched Gaslighting with Ingrid Bergman, watch it about 20 times so you can see what these people are doing to you that have no relevance. Okay? Okay, we get it all?
Got it.
Okay, is there anything else that was on our list of things that we talked about at 4:30 this morning that we haven't covered? Poor Dane. I wake him up at the oddest hours to go, can we talk?
I want to talk. I'm like, yeah, that's much better than sleeping, which is actually true.
Yeah, because sleeping only allows you to make your body rest and the mind rest when you actually handle these things. So please get that what we're trying to do here is give you the freedom to create a greater possibility.
And the last thing was just the true power that difference is.
Yes. The true power that difference is. And what you got to see is, it's like be willing to be different, not to be the same. When you try to be the same or you try to be like others, you try to fit in, what you're trying to do is give the techies the power over you.
Or when you try to logicize what you're choosing, when you try to logicize what access is, when you try to logicize why you do it around people who think you're crazy, you are giving in to the techie point of view. Because logic is another one of those things that is used against you.
Yes.
And you keep trying to logic it because you know somewhere logically it should make sense to them if you just explain it right. Instead of trying to explain it right, be as different as you are and ask the question that will fuck with them. Ask the question that will set you free from the trap of their reality.
There's what you got to ask. What question can I ask that will fuck with them the most?
Yep. That will fuck with them the most, and then also what question can I ask that will set me free?
Okay. So there you go, folks. That's it for
Welcome to our call.
Welcome to our call. Thank you for being on the call. I hope you all have the greatest New Year you've ever had in your life, because this is where the wizards and the witches begin to step up.
Hear, hear.
Hear
to that.
Cheers to that. Cheers, everybody. Love you a lot.
Love you a lot.
Talk to you soon.
And Maestros, I'll see you in a couple minutes on the Maestro Zoom. Love you guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Happy New Year.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.